The good times don't last forever. It's a difficult reality to grasp because you may think that you're in a spot in your life where things are great, and then you can look back and say, wow, they were so much better back then. And it's very difficult to think about. I, for one, have had a lot of stuff happen in my life recently where we were great. Some of the best times of my life. But it unexpectedly took a turn that nobody saw coming whatsoever. Nobody saw it coming, and now we are no longer in the good old days, if you know what I mean. It could be something, with the boys, might be like a great summer, realizing that, you're probably not going to have too many more sleepovers with your friends. I wish that you knew that you were in the good old days before you were out of them, because looking back is filled with nostalgia and bittersweetness, because you wish that you could still be in those days and in those times with the same people, but unfortunately that's not the way that life goes. Okay, I know that these last couple videos have been kind of somber and such, but these are topics that have to be talked about, and it's ones that are relevant to my life at the time. So I want to make sure that everybody else knows about them. And just talk, just talk. That's all we're doing. We're having a discussion, a nice dialogue. In summer 2020, during COVID, I would hang out with my boys every single day. We would be at somebody's house. We would pile into one car and drive around, get fast food and throw open barbecue sauce packets at each other, and then find somebody's house to go swimming at. That's effectively what my senior year of high school looked like, because I graduated during COVID. I was fortunate enough to be in a situation where, even though it sucked that I wasn't seeing my friends in class every day, I was seeing them outside of class, hanging out, doing some fun stuff, kayaking, two-hand touch football, all that stuff. We didn't have football practices, so me and my friends, we were the captains of our football teams. We thought it was a good idea to make and run our own practices. So that's exactly what we did. And they were great. They were fantastic times. We had an insurmountable amount of fun. And that's a time in my life that I knew that I was in the good old days. And I cherished every moment. I'm still friends with everybody that I shared those moments with, and being able to reflect on them and to see those, it makes me very happy. But there's also going to be seasons of life where we're not in the good old days. We're past all of the excitement. We're past all of the adrenaline, and past the point in our lives where we're able to consistently do exciting things, because we begin to pick up more responsibility as we grow older. We begin to have friends and family come in and out of our lives. So it becomes more difficult to identify when the good days are, when the bad days are, and how things are going. Life comes at you fast, and frankly, a lot faster than I would have liked or hoped. But being in a mindset where we're able to look back and be happy, and I'm not sure if envy is the proper word, because I'm not sure if you can envy yourself per se, but to yearn for those times in a healthy way and not in a destructive way, I think is also very important. To be able to look back and just smile, reminisce with good friends over a drink or something, I don't know. It's it's very uh, melancholy, we'll call it, to just like realize that every day we are just getting older. We're moving on. People stop talking to us. Uh, we become less of a priority for other people, and it makes us crave those days that people chose us first. We had something to do every day, or when every day was a new adventure. I know I crave those days. Recently, I've been spending a lot of time alone, so I've been trying to find ways to relive the glory days or find ways to spend time with other people. It's it's tough to know that at one point in your life things were at the best that they ever could have been. And for them to not be there anymore at the best moment, it's very difficult. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are or really what you went through. Everybody can relate to the thought and the idea that at one point things were better. Things were so much better. But reminiscing and sulking on that is not how those situations are intended to be. Because if you look in the past and you only worry about the past, you're going to miss the future. You're not going to be able to think about, oh, these are the glory days of my 20s, And effectively, I think that breaking it down instead of the glory days being, oh, just when we're young, well, what are the glory days of this year? What are the glory days of this month? What are the highlights of your year? And if we break it down that way, we could probably appreciate the little things more, the daily victories, the little things that we love so much about the good old days, being able to capture them in the everyday life. Oh, I went to Dunkin' Donuts and they gave me a free donut, you know? Dude, that's the good old days, you know what I'm saying? Um, Being able to stay in touch with the people that you think that you were in the good old days with is also extremely important. Reminiscing and just telling jokes and kicking back with people is in itself just such a good time. It's a good feeling. And chasing those good old days is okay. It's okay to miss those. It's okay to want them back. And it's okay to know that they might not come back. And they won't come back. Very rarely will they come back in the same form that they were when you were younger, or last year, or, 4 years ago, or back in high school. Because things change shape. Things become more mature and adapted to your age range. And it's a lot. It's very dense. It's difficult. Freaking dude, literally everything is difficult, and I hate it. Absolutely everything is difficult. And life can suck sometimes. But luckily, through the memories that were made during those good days, during those good years, good months, good hours, good minutes, we have those memories to pull us through. We have those people that were with us in those instances to help us through and to reminisce and to relive those. Because, damn, is it fun to mess and joke around about stuff that happened years ago with the friends that were there, you know. Um, it's funny. So in high school, we did this thing called pizza muffler, okay? We would just take a slice of pizza and just shove it in one of our football teammates' mufflers. And for some reason, we thought that that was the funniest shit ever because there would just be pizza sauce all over the bottom of somebody's car. Or, you know, it would just like start to smoke or catch on fire. And it was just the goofiest, silliest, stupid thing possible. But looking back, I'm like, damn, like that was stupid, but that was so funny. And I'm so grateful that I have those little moments and those little memories. And I encourage all of you to, if you think that you're not in the good old days, or you don't know if you've ever experienced something like that, go find some boys, go find your homies, and go like stick a freaking Little Caesars pizza up their muffler, like their vehicle muffler. Get your mind out of the gutter. Um, go have fun. Live in the glory days. It's it's it changes with time, but that doesn't mean that they're not still there. I hope that that made sense. I'm sure that you guys have lots of stories about when you guys were in the good old days, and I would love to hear some of the funny stuff that you guys ended up doing, or at what age you think that your glory days were. I know that I got a lot of living left. I'm sure a lot of you do too. Love to hear it, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Deuces.